Chewie, that must be the 43rd time you've watched that film since we left Alderaan. I mean, it's just a documentary about a brother and a sister who kind of lose track of birth. This Dark Lord, the father that comes looking for them. Yes, and some sidekick nomadic rider of a Millennium Falcon. Of course, you, Chewie, some hairy beast. What have you got to say for that, Chewie? Okay. Now listen. Wait. Don't get excited. Guys, we've got a table topic session to run. And just before we do, I need that sonic screwdriver because the hyperlink is down. Wait a minute. I do actually see that we've got on the screen a very faint signal from Balboa Park Toastmasters in San Diego, the best Toastmasters there is in the USA. They've all come through. I can see them now. And so we may have to park fixing the hyperdrive, Chewie, if that's okay. And yeah, we're certainly not going to watch an episode of Star Wars again. Yeah, it's pretty boring. So I'm going to ask the good fellows of Balboa Park speakers some table topics. Yeah, I might ask you, Chewie, as well. Just hold fire. I might conclude you if we can understand a word you're saying. So, fellow Toastmasters and welcome guests. It is Craig Han Solo Moss here. Not off for a great start, but I think we've got the tech right now. We've got you clued in. We've got Balboa Park on the screen. So my first question is, if you could go anywhere in the solar system, bearing in mind it's pretty big, where would it be, and describe what it would be like when you arrive there? I'm going to ask Craig for him to respond, please.
Sure. I anywhere in the universe, I would love to go on that Millennium Falcon there with that Wookiee friend of yours, and Han Solo. I love hanging out with nerf herders and smugglers and pirates such as yourself. I think we could have a good time traveling around the Millennium Falcon and visiting Alderaan and Han Solo's home planet of Corellia, I believe that is, and all the different characters that we can see. Because I think traveling is a great opportunity to see the world that you live in and to learn new ideas and new cultures and learn everything new and different. And there'd be no other traveling companion to do that with than my good buddy Han Solo and Chewbacca. Thank you, Mr. Table Topics Master.
Oh, that's fine. All right, keep it down. We've had one good table topic. Let's maybe have a few more. Yes, okay. We'll watch another episode of Star Wars again. Let's move on. We have another topic. And it's the Millennium Falcon. We know that it's done the Kessel Run in 20 parsecs. That's pretty quick. But can you name or think of a time when you drove your four-wheel space vehicle, it's known as a car, by the way, and you drove it maybe a little bit too fast and you were stopped by the authorities, better known as the cops? I'm going to ask Tim if he can respond to this one. Go ahead, Tim.
Thank you for that, Craig Han Solo. Chewie, I'd like to say you're just one of my favorite characters with the emotions that you produce and get across without actually saying anything. For the question of, has there been a time that I've gone too fast in my car? There's been way too many times. I've had a couple different tickets that I've had from speeding in my car. There's two that I will go ahead and tell you about. First, it wasn't me driving, but I have a twin brother, and we had this ridiculously ugly 95 Dodge Neon that we shared as our first car. And coming home from school one day, we decided to jump on the highway, and we said, hey, let's see how fast this car can actually go. So we're pushing this 95 Dodge Neon to its absolute maximum. I think it's going right around 102 miles per hour. And we passed a cop on the shoulder, well over 100. And we both look at each other for a split second. Was that a cop? What do I do? Keep going, keep going. So he doesn't keep going, doesn't try to outrun him, slowly pulls over the right lane, and he ends up getting a speeding ticket for 3 digits at 102 miles per hour. which the cop pretty much said, I can almost take you to jail for this. So that's my adventurous stories of four-wheel drive off-roading. Thank you, Han.
Now, you know that Chewie and I, we're supporters of the rebellion. We're massive. Yes, the rebellion, or the alliance, whatever it is. He always corrects me on everything. So irritating. But as supporters, we know that we're very much part of the good side of the Force. By the way, that was the word of the day, I think. It's on the report here. But more importantly, we know that sometimes we can slip into the dark side. Surely you must have a guilty pleasure that you like, but you know it's wrong. So I'm going to ask this question to Elsa, if she'd like to answer this question. So go ahead, Elsa. We'd love to hear from you.
Thank you, Mr. Table Topics Master, for the question. Actually, I do have a guilty pleasure, and I'm gonna get in trouble with my brother because he's always making fun of me. I love to watch those Colombian narco series that they have in Netflix, like Narcos and all those. They're not soap operas, but kind of soap operas. Now they call them series. They're super fun. I just enjoy the way they speak. They have a different accent, and they're super, the man, super manly, super good looking, and they're just fun. I don't know. I have an addiction to that. I feel embarrassed because I don't get anything from it. I don't learn anything from it, but only seeing the nice, beautiful people in the houses, also the beautiful properties that they have in Colombia. And now I feel like I want to visit Colombia. I feel like it's a beautiful country, despite all the stories. But I think it's beautiful, and the food is amazing, and that is my guilty pleasure. Colombian series. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
This is cool. I'm no good at this. I can't even drive the Millennium Falcon. Anyway, I'm no good at this, but I thought I'd give it a whirl. Skywalker contacted me, said, look, mate, get down here. The Death Stars were struggling to take out the main tower. I thought, you know what? I'll help. But anyway, I've got R2-D2 in the background here. He's been really helpful. As you can... Yes, R2. Yeah, you like Star Wars too? Yeah, we'll watch that with Chewie, promise. So, look, we all love robots. Absolutely all love a robot or technology. And I love iPads. I love sat-nav. Believe it or not, even on the Millennium Falcon, I use a sat-nav. I'd love to know from you, what is your favorite robot or piece of technology? And that goes to Margaret.
Thank you, Mr. Table Topics Master. I love technology, so I'm so glad you asked me this question. My favorite piece of technology is the iPhone. I use the iPhone all the time. I think of it like a robot because it's like my little slave. I ask it, oh, tell me this, find that out. And it's incredible. Actually, preparing for you to call on me, and I was able to Google some Star Wars phrases in case you called on me, because I, like Karen, do not consider myself a Star Wars aficionado. I went to a Star Wars movie when I was in high school because a very attractive guy asked me to go, and I fell asleep on his shoulder. So I know nothing about Star Wars, but because of my favorite robot, I can tell you that I hope the Force may always be with you, Craig. Thank you.
I did get beamed out of that X-Wing. They said I was useless. I'm better off with Chewie in the Millennium Falcon. Oh, well, somebody loves me, Chewie. You do, don't you? I wonder why you're so quiet. And Madam Toastmaster, do we have time for one more, or are we going to wrap up now?
And as far as the general evaluation at the meeting, I thought we had a great meeting. And I have to say that the table topics really did have a force today. We're talking about Star Wars and the force that table topics really had a force. And with that, I'm going to turn it back to our Toastmaster.
This has been my favorite meeting from the 2 years I've been in Toastmasters. That table topics was phenomenal. Your effects and actually playing the opening music with the visuals, Craig, was just amazing. I'm so glad that you took that on today. And Noah taking advantage of the theme today to share such a personal story was just fantastic. I just loved it all around. Thank you all. I will officially adjourn the meeting. Please stay for social time if you have time. Thank you.